Money is supposed to be a neutral tool for exchanging value, but what if it's actually a sophisticated system of spiritual control? What if the financial structures that govern modern life are designed to keep people trapped in cycles of limitation, scarcity, and dependency? I'm Dr. Marcus Thorne, and today I'm going to reveal how the monetary system functions as a form of consciousness programming that prevents people from recognizing their true abundance and creative potential. Let me be clear, I'm not talking about physical immortality or denying the reality of bodily death. I'm talking about understanding the deeper truth about consciousness and identity that makes death programming powerless over your awareness. The death programming operates through several mechanisms. Temporal scarcity. When people believe they have limited time, they make decisions based on fear rather than wisdom. They accept limitations they would never accept if they understood their true nature. Survival. Obsession. When people believe their existence depends on external circumstances, they become willing to trade freedom for security, creativity for safety, and authenticity for survival. Material attachment. When people believe they are physical bodies that will be destroyed, they become attached to material possessions and external validation rather than developing inner resources. Authority, dependency. When people believe they need external protection from death, they become dependent on authorities who promise security in exchange for compliance. But here's the deeper truth that ancient wisdom traditions have always taught. Consciousness is not produced by the brain, and identity is not limited to the physical body. When you understand this, death programming loses its power over you. The entire financial system is built on the principle of debt-based money creation. Banks create money by issuing loans, which means that money itself represents obligation rather than abundance. This creates a psychological association between wealth and limitation rather than wealth and freedom. But here's where it connects to the cube symbolism I've been discussing. Banking buildings consistently use cube-based architecture to suggest stability and permanence. Financial interfaces organize information in rectangular grids. The entire system is designed to promote thinking within economic boundaries rather than recognizing abundance as a natural state. The psychological programming is subtle but effective. When people spend their days in cube-shaped office buildings working to pay off debt created by cube-shaped bank buildings, they're being conditioned to think within financial limitations. They accept scarcity as natural rather than recognizing their creative potential. Credit systems amplify this programming. Instead of recognizing that value comes from human creativity and natural resources, people learn to believe that their worth depends on external evaluation by financial institutions. They become dependent on credit scores, loan approvals, and financial permission for basic life decisions. The stock market represents the ultimate expression of financial programming. Instead of investing in real value creation, people learn to participate in artificial price fluctuations driven by psychological manipulation rather than genuine productivity. They're trained to think in terms of financial speculation rather than authentic wealth building. But here's the deeper spiritual implication. The financial system conditions people to believe that their survival depends on external institutions rather than their own creative potential. This creates a form of spiritual dependency that prevents people from recognizing their true power. Ancient societies understood that real wealth comes from understanding natural principles and developing human potential. They recognized that consciousness itself is the source of all value creation. When people understand this, they can create abundance, regardless of external financial circumstances. The solution isn't to reject money entirely, but to recognize how financial systems affect consciousness and to develop internal abundance that doesn't depend on external validation. When you understand that your creative potential is the source of all real wealth, you can work with financial systems without being controlled by them. I've researched these patterns extensively and documented how financial programming connects to the broader system of consciousness control. In my book, The Saturn Conspiracy, How ancient cube worship controls modern reality. I reveal practical methods for maintaining abundance consciousness while navigating financial systems. You can grab your copy for just $2.99 using the link in the description below. The transformation begins with recognizing the scarcity is not natural. It's artificially created by systems that benefit from keeping people in limitation. When you understand this, you can begin to develop internal abundance that doesn't depend on external circumstances. Here's a simple practice. Instead of focusing on what you lack financially, spend time each day recognizing the abundance that already exists in your life. Notice the wealth of natural resources, human creativity, and collaborative potential that surrounds you. This shifts your consciousness from scarcity to abundance. The ancient wisdom teaches that consciousness is the source of all manifestation. When your awareness is aligned with abundance rather than limitation, you naturally attract the resources needed for your genuine development. This isn't magical thinking. It's understanding how consciousness and reality interact. Financial systems work by convincing people that their security depends on external institutions, rather than their own creative potential. When you remember that your consciousness is the source of all value creation, external financial circumstances become opportunities for creative response rather than limitations to be endured. Tomorrow, I'll show you how the same programming principles appear in healthcare systems and how medical institutions use environmental conditioning to influence patient behavior. But first, check out the Saturn Conspiracy and start recognizing financial programming in your own life. The ancient wisdom is still available to those who seek it. The question is, will you remain trapped in financial limitation, or will you reclaim your natural abundance?